The economic importance of apples in agriculture. Apples are among the most widely cultivated and consumed fruits in the world. Their crisp texture, nutritional value, and versatility have made them a staple in diets across cultures and climates. But beyond their role as a popular food, apples also represent a cornerstone of agricultural economies. From being a source of rural employment to generating billions in trade revenues, apples hold enormous economic importance. This article explores the global production and trade of apples, their contribution to local economies, and the challenges faced by farmers in this dynamic sector. 1. Largest producers and exporters of apples. Global production leaders. Apple cultivation spans temperate regions worldwide, but a few nations dominate the global market. China. By far the largest producer, China accounts for over 40 to 50% of global apple production. Provinces such as Shaanxi, Shandong, and Henan are renowned for vast orchards. China's dominance is driven by large-scale farming, government support, and growing domestic demand. United States. The U.S. ranks second, with Washington state producing nearly two-thirds of the country's apples. Other key states include New York, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. U.S. apples are known for their high quality and diverse varieties, including Red Delicious, Gala, and Honeycrisp. Poland. Leading Europe's apple production, Poland is a major exporter, particularly to the European Union, Russia historically, and the Middle East. Apples are a cornerstone of Poland's agricultural identity. India. India's apple production is concentrated in northern states, such as Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Amp, Kashmir, and Uttarakhand. While most of the produce is consumed domestically, India is steadily increasing its presence in the global market. Turkey, Iran, and Russia. These countries are also significant producers, serving both local consumption and regional trade. Top exporters. While China produces the most apples, countries like Poland, Italy, Chile, and the United States often lead in exports. Chile stands out as a southern hemisphere exporter, supplying apples during the northern hemisphere's off-season. Italy and France are key European exporters, leveraging their well-established varieties and marketing networks. New Zealand and South Africa also play vital roles in seasonal supply, especially to Asian and Middle Eastern markets. Contribution of apple farming to local economies. Apple farming is more than just growing fruit, it is an engine of rural development, job creation, and cultural heritage. Employment generation. Orchards require intensive labor for planting, pruning, pest control, harvesting, grading, and packaging. In regions like Washington State, US, Himachal Pradesh, India, and Poland's Apple Belt, thousands of seasonal workers find employment during peak harvest. Apple farming also supports allied industries, such as transportation, storage, food processing, and packaging. Value-added industries. Apples feed into multiple downstream industries, juice and cider production, a massive global market, especially in Europe and North America. Dried apples, jams, and preserves, popular in Asia and the Middle East. Cosmetics and pharmaceuticals. Apple extracts are used in skincare and health supplements. These industries multiply the economic benefits of apple farming beyond fresh consumption. Rural development. Apple orchards stabilize rural economies by providing consistent income to farmers. Infrastructure such as cold storage, roads, and rural markets often develops around apple-growing regions. In mountainous regions like Kashmir, India, or the Alps, Europe, apples prevent outmigration by sustaining local livelihoods. Export revenues. Apples are a significant contributor to agricultural exports, bringing in foreign exchange. For example, Poland's apple exports represent billions in annual revenue, while Chile's exports have made it a leading fruit exporting nation. Apples hold immense economic importance in agriculture, from feeding global markets to sustaining rural livelihoods. China leads in production, while nations like the US, Poland, and Chile dominate exports. Apple farming not only generates jobs, but also drives food processing, rural infrastructure, and international trade. However, the sector is not without challenges. Climate change, pest pressures, market volatility, and inadequate infrastructure pose significant hurdles. For apples to continue thriving as both a fruit and an economic powerhouse, investments in sustainable farming practices, cold chain infrastructure, market diversification, and farmer training are essential. By addressing these issues, apples can remain not just a symbol of health and nutrition, but also a pillar of agricultural economies worldwide. Challenges in apple cultivation and trade. Despite their economic importance, apple farmers face a wide range of challenges that threaten profitability and sustainability. Climate and environmental issues. Climate change. Rising temperatures, unpredictable rainfall, and extreme weather events affect yields and quality. Apples require a specific range of chilling hours during winter to flower properly, making them vulnerable to warming winters. Pests and diseases. Apple scab, codling moths, fire blight, and other issues require intensive management, increasing input costs. Soil degradation. Overuse of fertilizers and pesticides in intensive farming systems reduces soil health over time. Economic and market challenges. Price fluctuations. Apple prices vary depending on supply gluts, import/export policies, and changing consumer preferences. Farmers are often at the mercy of volatile markets. Global competition. Small farmers struggle to compete with large-scale producers from countries with advanced infrastructure and subsidies. High input costs. Labor, cold storage, and transport costs often eat into farmers' profits, especially in developing regions. Infrastructure and storage. Apples are perishable and require careful handling, grading, and refrigeration. Inadequate cold storage and transport facilities in many countries lead to post-harvest losses of up to 30 to 40%. Rural areas in developing nations often lack proper road connectivity, making it difficult for farmers to access markets. Policy and trade barriers. Exporters face tariffs, trade restrictions, and sanitary regulations in international markets. For example, geopolitical tensions have at times restricted exports from Poland to Russia. Subsidy policies in developed countries can distort global apple prices, disadvantaging smaller exporters. Longevity is built daily: sleep well, eat right, and manage stress. Share with someone serious about their health. Thanks for being here. Until next time, stay awesome. Michael Luxier.